They say it's a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it. Yeah, yeah. That's so corny, I know, but you know what? I got a message. I got a few emails too. I got a message from Jolanda saying I have to sing it every week, so I'm gonna sing it every week until y'all tell me to stop singing it. You know what? I'm not even gonna worry about that. How y'all doing? What's up? This is Ty. It's time for another review of one of my favorite shows. I'm talking about Power, which comes on Starz Sunday nights at 9 o'clock. It's a great show. And tonight's episode, I'm going to do a recap of what went on, things that got on my nerves, things that had me on the edge of my seat. Tonight's episode was titled The Kind of Man You Are. And at the beginning of the episode, we see that the feds are closing in on Ghost's people. And, you know, we see the feds, they brought in Julio, they brought in Dre, they brought in Lakeisha, and they're trying to really stir things up and trying to get some information. They're really trying to take Ghost St. Patrick down. Ghost St. Patrick. Well, they're trying to take Ghost down. They're trying to take Tommy Egan down. They're just trying to bring them down. But Dre and Julio, they're pros at this. They know how to handle themselves. They couldn't get any information out of them. And what really annoyed me was Sandoval has the nerve to be trying to interrogate somebody knowing damn well that you killed Greg Knox. It's just, he's really pissing me off. And so is that Angela. She's pissing me off too, because she done brought in Lakeisha, and she's trying to get Lakeisha to turn on Tasha. She's asking Lakeisha about when did the marriage dissolve, and do you know? And Lakeisha was like, you know, you're the cause of this whole thing. You know why the marriage dissolved. It dissolved because of you. She wasn't really understanding what speaking to Angela could cause, because what Angela is trying to do is she's trying to get it where take away Tasha's marital privilege, where that way she can speak against Ghost if she has to in court, and if Tasha refuses to do so, they can prosecute her. And then what'll be messed up about that is you have both Ghost in jail and you got Tasha in jail, and now the kids are orphans and they're going to be put in the system, and we don't want that. Nobody wants that. So we see that that's the angle they're trying to go. They're trying to pressure her to turn against, trying to pressure Tasha to turn against Ghost. They're trying to get people. It failed with getting any information out of Dre and Julio. It really felt nothing really worked, but they really pissed me off, these tactics. And speaking of pissed off, have y'all seen the memes that are going around? They're really funny. I saw one on Instagram that said, who's pissing you off the most? And you know, it's the picture of Dre, Sandoval, Angela, and Tariq. Tariq still has my vote. He's pissing me off the most, and I'm gonna tell you why. Especially tonight, I'm gonna tell you why. Because tonight we see Tariq. I know he's upset. This little brat. Let me contain myself. This little boy. Kudos to the actor playing Tariq, because he's really pissing me off, and he has me looking at the screen like, boy, if you was my son, I'd smack your mouth. Because he's just so naive and just so hard-headed. So we see Tommy speaking to him. He's dropping him off at school, and he's trying to have this conversation with him, letting him know, you know, your dad, he didn't do this. And he's like, oh, he probably did do it. I really don't care about him. I really don't care about my mother either. Like, you little spoiled brat. Why are you so angry? What are you so upset about? I know it might be a little embarrassing that you have a father being accused of murder, but this kid, he just, you know, he's really irritating me. I'll give him this, though. When the students were picking on and sent a text message to his sister Raina, I did like that he came to her defense. But what I did not like is how he's reacting towards her and how he's being so short with her. And we see that, you know, she gets upset, and we see her run out. He runs out of the school and she runs out after him, and that's when the press takes a picture of her. But back to what pisses me off about it. I give him that. I like that you defended your sister. I did like that. But what pissed me off is how you disrespected her when she came to your room to talk to you and tell you, listen, we got to keep this thing right. We got to keep this thing going. And he's like, get the F out of my room and shut the F up. He did have some valid points about his parents being liars and how come they don't never bring him around the people they grew up with because there's something fishy. He did have some points. But still, you little spoiled brat, you have it all. Did y'all see his room? That's a nice room for somebody without a job, right? You see his room? His room is better than mine, and I work every day, and I got a nice job, and my room don't look like that. I know I'm kidding. See, this is what this show does to me. Also, another thing that pissed me off with you, Tariq, you sipping on syrup with Kanan. You fool. Don't you know he's leading you down the wrong path? We see him still hanging around Kanan, and now he's doing these jobs for Kanan, getting the codes to these rich kids' apartments. That was another nice place. Real nice place. So that Kanan can go in there and rob these people while he's sitting down there playing video games with old boy. You know, Tariq, you grimy. You're stupid, too. You're a stupid little boy. You're a stupid, spoiled little... That's my gripe with him. All right, moving right along. Let's see. Who else got on my nerves? We know Angela is getting on. Angela is still butthurt. We know he left you, yada, yada, yada. But you, instead of just going with the flow, you got to get in your feelings. Now, you thinking that you thinking Ghost killed Greg Knox. So she had the nerve. And this really got to me. She had the nerve to come to the prison and try to speak to Ghost and ask Ghost in front of his lawyers, I'd like to speak to him alone. Are you crazy? You got me in this mess and you think I'm going to speak to you alone without my lawyers present? You're bugging. You are straight up bugging. So anyway, she tells him, listen, you know you did this. You need to just admit to doing this. And maybe I can get you a lower sentence. If not, we're going to come after your wife. Both of y'all are going to end up in jail and the kids are going to be messed up. See, Ghost is getting in a real tight situation. On top of that, while Ghost is in this prison, what's the guy's name? The old guy who we all thought, some of us, I know we were thinking, what was his connection? And we were thinking, is he Tommy's father? This Tariq? No, he's just some old school gangster who has a lot of pull because we see Tariq opening up opening up a pack of ramen noodles and there's a phone in there. You know, he's got pull, so he's got a phone and he's checking out and he finds out who Ghost really is. And he's like, oh, he's Ghost. So we see him go over to him and he's telling them, listen, I know who you are. You're Ghost. You try to come in here all cool and relax because you're trying to hide something. But I saw the way you broke Biscuit's wrist. I saw that when Biscuit was all up on you, bro. I saw how you broke his wrist. You're somebody. You're a Ghost. So Tariq is basically blackmailing Ghost. He says, listen, I want $20,000 a week, and I want you to send it to this address, or I'm going to tell the prosecutor that I can prove that you're a Ghost. And so, of course, he's going to comply with that. But that's going to be interesting because I know, you know how this show is. You know how the writers are. Ghost is a smart man and Ghost is clever. There are going to be some twists and turns, and it's not going to work out in that guy's favor either. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. So we see Ghost. It's just his world is closing in on him. He's in this prison. He sees the prison guard gives him the article, shows him the article in the paper of his daughter crying, and he's like, oh, that's from bad parenting. So he's just really feeling the squeeze all around. Now he's considering, gee, maybe I should take this offer to protect my family. My daughter's crying. My world is falling apart. I'm up in here. I'm getting blackmailed $20,000 a week. $20,000 a week to this man. I don't even know this man. Come on. So things are falling apart for him. We also learn in this episode that Proctor has brought along Silver. He's the second chair. He's also going to be working on this case with them. And he's really not feeling Ghost. He's here for the money. He's like, look, I think he's guilty. He needs to take the plea deal. And really good writing. Like he did, but Proctor tells him, "Listen, I need you to. He's innocent. I know he's innocent, and we're going to prove this, and we're going to help." So as they're having their conversation, Ghost tells them that Knox pulled me over before that same night he got killed. He pulled me over. So they're like, we gotta find proof that he pulled you over. Silver's not believing it, but long story short, it was true. He did get pulled over, and what happens is he got pulled over, and so because of that, that's how his DNA got on Knox's body, because of the little tussle they had out in the streets. So we go to the courtroom and we see, things improve a little bit for Ghost, because we see where Knox was able to get the DNA charge thrown out, because what happened was the FBI did not admit this. They did not submit it. They didn't say that he was stopped. So there's this. It makes it look like they were being biased and that they were hiding something, because they never said that they had this. They never said that Greg stopped Ghost earlier that night before he got killed, and that's how the DNA got on him. They're trying to make it look like they had a tussle when he murdered him, and that's how his DNA got on him. And so because of that, the judge was saying, well, we'll keep it in, but we'll also allow Proctor to bring this new evidence that you guys failed to tell, that Ghost was stopped, and we'll keep that in, and then we'll let the jury decide. And so they don't want that. The feds don't want that, because then it'll look like they were biased. So they dropped the DNA out of it. They're going to take that out. So that's a good move. That's a good look for Ghost. But he's still in prison. He's not going anywhere, because there's still the fingerprints. And then there's the gun that was found. So I'm curious to see how they handle that in the next few episodes. What else did I like about this episode? I'm trying to think. I think I covered everything. Oh yes, this Bailey character. I'm liking him. I almost forgot about Bailey. Remember the guy that Greg Knox was going to last season, trying to help him figure things out and illegally tapping phones and all of that? Well, he comes forth and he's like, listen, let's clear Greg's name, because I know Greg is not the spy. He's not the double agent. He's not the crook in this. I want his name cleared. He believes the mole is Angela. He's like, the mole is Angela. It's not Greg. The mole is Angela. And so he's saying he has evidence that he can prove that that Angela is the one. He even went up to Angela and confronted Angela. Was like, you're the cause of this, and you need to come forth and tell them that you're the mole. So I like that. I like that storyline. I like where this is going. I have a feeling, though, because Bailey has been speaking with all the different agents, and we last seen him talking in the bar with Sandoval. And I have a feeling that Bailey is on to Sandoval. At first I was like, don't trust Sandoval, because he'll shoot you in a minute, But I have a feeling that Bailey is on to Sandoval. So that's clever writing again. Really, really good. Am I missing something? Oh, there were some scenes a scene I thought was very powerful. It was between Ghost and his daughter Raina, when you see her crying because she's distraught because of what's going on, and she's afraid that her father's going to get killed, in jail. He's going to get the electric chair, whatever, the gas chamber, whatever they're going to do. And that scene where he calls home and he's speaking to Raina, to me that was a powerful scene, because I have a daughter, and when you have that, there's something about that bond between a father and his daughter and his children, period. Just to see how he felt so helpless and trying to help his daughter who was so distraught. I know that feeling, because I don't like to see my daughter cry. I don't like to see my children cry. So I thought that was a great scene. Kudos to the writers. They're really doing it. They're keeping it consistent. They're keeping me guessing. I want to know what's going to go on. I can't wait to the next episode. And lastly, let's talk about the scene. Am I skipping something? Oh yeah, then Tommy's up to something, and that's pretty cool. Tommy's got something going on. We'll learn more about that next week. Now let's talk about that last scene where Silver and Ghost are in the room, and Ghost is thanking Silver for his help, and Silver's like, "Psh, I know you're guilty. I'm just doing it because you're paying me well, but I know you're guilty." And they have this really great back and forth dialogue. And Ghost is like, "You think you know me? You don't know me. You probably grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your parents went to school, this, that, and the third." And Silver basically tells him, "I know the kind of man that you are." And he's like, "And what kind of man is that?" And Silver just points to his prison uniform. Is like, "Psh." So basically, he's saying, "I see you for what you really are. You think you got everybody fooled? You're not innocent. You're guilty. You're a bad guy, and you just got caught. And you're upset that you got caught. That's what you're scared about, because you finally got caught." I thought that was a really powerful scene, well acted scene. And this is why I love this show, because they're reminding us, listen, even though we're rooting for Ghost, Ghost is not really a good guy. He is a killer and a drug dealer and a whole lot of other things. So, really good episode. Can't wait to see next week. Tell me, based on this meme, who is annoying you the most? Is it Sandoval? Is it Dre? Is it Angela? Or is it Tariq? Tariq still gets my vote. Then maybe Angela. And then Sandoval. Dre's not bothering me too much. Well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and tell me your thoughts on this week's episode. I'm out. Have a blessed one.